We buy multiple ply toilet paper.
Yep,
We're not cheap garbage people.
Wake up in the morning, you're ready for fucking work, baby. Holy.
All of a sudden, you just Griffin dies before you, and all of a sudden, you just feel your butt being tickled all the time.
I tried. I was gonna go with just like the scruffy look, like it was just coming in, but then I looked like some teenager that was getting his first beard.
That's better than look like a fat baby. I'd rather look like a teenager than a baby.
So what's your announcement?
Well, as of 1/15, I am now a uncle.
Ooh.
So I'd like to congratulate Austin and Lexus with their newborn baby boy.
Yeah, sweet.
Hell yeah.
Granger is his name.
Ranger?
Granger.
Oh.
Great.
And it was funny because they kept giving me shit.
The farm equipment supply thing?
I don't
like
know.
that sort of Granger?
Well, I thought it was funny because they were going to name it Thomas. Or no, they were going to name it Red. And I was like, I'm just going to call it Thomas Red all the time. And they're like, okay, we're not naming it. And then they went with Granger, like Granger Smith. So either way, they're screwed.
Who's Granger Smith?
Singer.
Is it?
Earl Dibbles Jr.? Really?
Like, I listen to that kind of music.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
you
on
do.
the
If you heard it,
opposite
you would know
end
it.
of that.
If you
He
heard
likes
it, you would.
I probably would, but it's not a name I'm familiar with.
Since you haven't seen the Batmans, let's go to this one. Show you what you.
I mean, you've shown some like clips of them.
Yeah, but
You knew it didn't work, right? You hardly got it. You hardly got it to stay the first time, and now you just had to fucking touch it. We're 2 minutes. We're 2 minutes into this, and you've fucking wrecked your microphone again.
and he always fucking says, "I don't touch it. I never touched it. It's you guys. You guys did it."
Now just bring the lower arm down. No, you're bringing
No,
the
no,
whole
no,
thing
no.
down.
Break it in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll break this. So,
There you go.
what?
Now just hover your face around the microphone for the rest of the episode.
Okay.
It's gonna end up falling.
30 seconds from now, he'll try adjusting it again.
Well, I do it because I always look like I'm some singer in like all over it, you know. See, because now you can't hear it. Yeah.
I believe in a thing called love.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking white bread. You're boring. Look at you in your stupid outfit.
My father gave me this outfit.
And your dad's dead. Get over your dead parents already.
Didn't your parents die?
Don't bring it up. I was a boy. Now I'm a bat.
I'm sorry.
My suit is cool, because I made it myself. Daddy's boy, you got a stupid S on your chest in case we could forget who you are.
It's my people's symbol for hope.
Hope starts with an H, stupid.
Okay, stop.
H. You're late.
You're wearing eye makeup.
Fuck you. I didn't just inherit my abilities from a different fucking atmosphere. This air makes me strong. You fucking nerd with your nerd hair.
Batman, Superman, I saw the bat signal. What's...
Don't be ridiculous.
Is that actually part of the movie?
No.
That's actually Val Kilmer.
I was going to say, if that was actually part of the movie, I would be really upset that I have not watched the movies yet.
Fucking nerd. Your nerd hair.
Who's actually the actor doing Batman? Is that like Pete Holmes or something? It seems like.
I don't know. They're a part of Funny or Die, I think.
Are they?
They have a bunch of them.
I was going to say, because I know I've seen him and that same guy doing Batman in quite a few different little clips like that.
The Bane one is fucking hilarious. It's like
the Ra's al Ghul one.
Yeah, his
him and her in that bank or whatever.
Yeah, and he's like, smell my fingers. Which one of these things do you smell out of?
Wear a rubber suit all day. Really seals in the flavor. She did it. She did it in a sequence that would really surprise you. Vag ass mouth.
Should we just watch it?
So stupid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pull it up. That's a good one.
College humor, that's what it is.
First one.
Where's the trigger?
I broke you. How have you come back?
You think you're the only one who can learn the strength to escape?
I did not escape.
The child of Ra's al Ghul made the climb.
But he is not the child of Ra's al Ghul. I am.
What? Miranda.
Talia, Al Ghul, here to finish my father's work.
But we totally had sex.
Yes, I know.
No, like hardcore. 3 times.
It was all a cruel ploy to gain your confidence.
That was a cruel ploy. Sign me up for another.
When the mission is at hand, no act is off limits.
Oh, I agree. Nothing was off limits. It was like an all-you-can-fuck buffet.
Okay, Bruce, that's enough.
Okay, let's get back on track. You must be wondering how we came to this moment, Mr. Wayne.
Let me see if I recollect. Some stuff happened. You sucked my dick.
My father.
Like a lot.
My father never accepted Bane.
How was that, by the way?
Are you done?
I hadn't showered that day, and I fight crime in a rubber suit. Really seals in the flavor.
Oh, Jesus.
My father only saw a monster who could not be tamed.
You tamed my monster.
Okay, just shut up, okay?
With your mouth.
Stop!
And 2 other places.
Okay.
In an order that would surprise you.
Enough!
Ass mouth man.
All right, that's it. That is my love you're speaking to. I am her protector.
That's ironic, because we didn't use any protection. And I offered.
You motherfucker.
No, Bane, it's fine. These words will be his last.
Her last words were, spit in my mouth.
Okay, do you understand what's happening right now? A bomb is about to blow up Gotham, and I've stabbed you.
I stabbed you first.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
With my dick.
I got it.
Just to clarify, guy who breathes through a crab. It's not the first time one of us has shoved 9 hard inches up into somebody's ribs.
It wasn't 9 inches.
Except when I did it to her, she loved it.
Enough! Soon you will feel the fire of 12 million souls you failed.
So what you're saying is by touching that red spot in just the right way, there's an explosion?
Exactly.
I do the alphabet. A is for Alfred. B is for Bat.
It's Clarice, I get it. You don't have to show me.
I found it. I'm the world's greatest detective.
Give it.
Yes, how does it feel to have something hard penetrate your body? No? Nothing?
I mean, I could think of like 10 off of that.
I'm sorry. All sex jokes aside, I am losing quite a bit of blood.
You're an idiot.
All right, fuck this. I'm just gonna blow up Gotham now. Goodbye, my love.
Wait, are you crying right now? Jesus, his face is all wet, like mine was at the beginning.
And he's...
And yours was at the end.
Press the button.
You gave Gordon a way to block my signal. No matter. You bought yourself 11 minutes.
What you should buy yourself is another pair of panties. I totally hid these from you when you were in the John.
So gross.
That's a lot of memory. You want a little? Which one of these tubes do you smell out of? Now, you have my permission to cry.
Oh, Jesus. Does he talk like that in all the movies?
What the fuck was that?
Somebody was unzipping something. Who's taking their pants off?
Oh, that's not this kind of video?
I didn't unzip nothing.
You guys seen this one?
I don't know. I've seen a lot of people trying to swing out into water before. It normally doesn't end good. Well, whichever.
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
He purposely did that, right?
3.
See him kick him.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, the guy's
I heard a
so
snap and I thought somebody like whipped him on his back or something. Just like, what? And you realize he was kicking that kid in the face.
He's so into it too. He's fucking, I'm a part of the video.
I'm pretty sure I didn't send it to you too, but I got one the other day. I don't know if I sent it to you guys or not, where it said, I don't know if it's in New York or where it's at, but a guy's like, he has his pants down and he's jerking off and he's like leaned back against a fire hydrant.
Oh, the
Guy walks up with bear mace, sprays him in the face, and then sprays his dick and then sprays him in the face again.
Jesus Christ.
Ouch.
It's like, oh God, that's gotta hurt. Or just a shopkeeper with just a garden hose. He's just standing there with like the jet gun, just spraying him in the face. Guy sitting there on the sidewalk, just screaming at him. It's like, get out of here. Move down the street. The guy kind of mumbles something, just starts spraying him again. Where'd you get that video of me?
This is what he looks like when he goes to Deadwood.
My pink jacket.
That's weird. It looks like he's going up. She is going uphill.
That's like a nose grind then, or
Yeah.
what do they call that? Not a tail grind.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it is. Sounds like a thing.
If it sounds like a thing, it is a thing. I guess. According to the Urban Dictionary.
Could be. They got a lot of.
Turns out Riz is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Giat.
Yeah, Giat means grow your ass thick.
Yeah. Well, I learned that from the kid. That's kind of fucked up. Well, I didn't really learn it from the kid. I heard it from the kid. I'm like, what?
He probably doesn't even know what it means.
I don't know why you need
He's
acronyms
probably-
for fucking everything.
I don't know.
But you say that, and then you're going to spend 5 minutes explaining to me what it actually is, rather than just saying what you mean.
Yeah, because the whole Riz thing.
I don't even actually know exactly what that is.
Riz is apparent. Well, look it up. You got it, Urban Dictionary. I'm pretty sure it says, and it's something about how well you are at. Well, we used to call it
charisma.
Game.
Charisma.
Riz is I can't fucking pronounce that word.
Colloquial. I don't know.
Is that what it is?
Looks like it.
Good attempt.
Colloquial. Noun.
Hit it.
Boom.
Used when describing possession of charisma. Sam was right.
Do you read the Urban Dictionary, Eminem?
No, he just follows
when you
a bunch
said
of people
when
on
you said
TikTok.
it's like game, that's charisma.
That's not what I think
Didn't even
of
know what
when I
charisma-
think of charisma. Isn't that necessarily, but
I fucking have no idea.
It's off of Biodome. Charisma.
Yeah.
Pauly Shore.
Yeah, so
So what was your woman talk, or why is she a psychopath for Subway?
okay. She got a sandwich, a sub, 6-inch sub. And I don't know really how to explain it exactly. She's eating it from like a certain side, right? And she goes, I'm sitting there eating my sub. She goes, I really wish when I got the other side. Like, what the fuck you mean you wish you got the other side? And she goes, well, because I like to eat it like this, like to the open end or whatever. I like to eat it like that. Otherwise, you're eating it from I don't know how you would the butt end of the sub. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, so show me how you want to eat it. And she goes, I want to eat it from this side, but then I got to eat the butt first. So like, I grabbed it. I flipped it around so she could eat it from the and she goes, well, no, now it's backwards.
Oh, it's not on the cut end?
No, the bottom.
The bottom's
isn't
not.
The bottom of the loaf isn't against your thumb. It's now the top of the loaf is against your thumb.
So she's like, you're not.
The bottom of the loaf is against her finger. It's
I'm like,
funny you say
Jesus,
that
who fucking cares? It all goes in your mouth.
Because anytime I get a sub, I always get a 12-inch.
So do I, yeah.
And I think that when I eat the opposite half of, I'm holding this backwards.
I guess that's
it's something that's never come into my mind. Yeah.
I always eat with the cut up.
Yeah.
So it doesn't
matter which way I'm
the
top of the loaf is.
As long as the cut is facing up.
I exactly know what she's saying because I think of that. I don't act on it or anything like that. But in my head, I say that every time I have it, just like, now I'm eating the backwards half.
Yeah, so she literally eats it from the opposite, like.
I don't do it that way.
She wants to hold it in a different hand. I think she wants to hold it in the one hand instead of the other side, but she wants to eat it. So
that's weird. Like that's never bothered me.
Yeah.
With my thumb.
When she said that, I was like,
bottom.
Yeah.
No,
I was just appalled because she goes, I really wish I got the other half.
I'll do it. That's how I eat mine too, is from the cut center to the butt.
But it doesn't matter which way.
But I'll eat the one that the bottom of the loaf is against my thumb. I'll eat that side first, and then I'll flip the other half around. So the top of the loaf is against my thumb, and I always look at it and just like, that's backwards. Just eat it. But that's something
I guess, that's never crossed my mind.
Think in my head too, that it's backwards.
I guess I switch.
Yeah.
Because I kind of just like eat this way, and then when I go to this one, I eat this way.
Yeah.
Like
that's what I was just going to say.
No, I eat with my dominant hand.
That's
just
my
dominant hand, no matter what.
My left hand holds both halves.
Yeah. And see, I'm right-handed, so it's opposite.
Yeah, see, it doesn't,
me and Sam are bi eaters.
I just could not
You'll take it however it comes. Huh?
I just could not process it because just out of the blue, we're sitting there eating, and she goes, "I wish I had the other half."
Just the most.
So I'm just like, well, then why didn't you get a 12-inch? Like I was like wondering why, like she wanted. Like more? Like I'm like did you want more?
They always want more.
Oh.
That was my first thought. Like she wanted like a 12-inch, and she goes, I wish I had the other half.
Yeah, she did. She did definitely want 12.
I wish I had the other half. Then why didn't you get a fucking 12-inch? Like, what do you mean you want the other half?
Easy solution to that. Just get flatbread. Then
he's got a point.
Or when they're cutting it, be that person to be like, no,
I want that half.
I want that half.
Jesus Christ.
I guarantee you that person just stands there and just stares at you.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What the fuck are you talking about?
It reminds me of...
I would probably smash it.
That one? What about that one?
That half? Jesus.
That reminds me of one of the podcasts I was watching. He was calling people psycho that tilt their head to eat like a hard shell taco. And he's like, what do you like? Everyone eats it like you tilt your head because you're holding it. He's like, no, you eat it this way. And all his shit fell out. I'm like, and you're calling people psycho for tilting your head. What?
Who said that?
It was just a podcast I was watching.
Yeah, no, you always,
Yeah, you always tilt your head when you're eating like a hard shell taco or something. He's like, why? You just turn it sideways and eat it regular. Like,
I think he was thinking about it too much. He's like, no, You should just eat it like that.
And he probably does. Like if you
caught him like eating tacos somewhere, he'd probably be over there. Like,
it's just a natural reaction. It's got to be.
Yeah.
That's just like, that brings us to the other thing, like people playing video games.
What?
Like, do you play race? You probably don't play racing games, but like,
I used to.
Like, turn the fucking controller.
Oh
yeah.
That or
I duck.
Or I was gonna say, or even duck, like playing Warzone. You see a grenade coming at you, you're like, Jesus,
dude, I was ducking. I was
like Jock playing.
I was ducking and dodging one night. Dylan started laughing his ass off.
It's crazy because I'll watch Slater do it too. Like I'll watch him like playing, and he'll be like,
it's a lot different when you have like both headphones.
Yeah, but it's just like my mom would play like Super Mario and then Super Nintendo. Like you have to jump with in the Mario Brothers game. So
I do that like if I'm like in a building and like I'll do that like if I'm trying to slide in corners or like close quarters, something like myself. I constantly just do that at my computer. I'm so glad I don't record myself. Just look like an idiot.
I think you should.
Well, I'll catch myself. I'll be on top of a building, and I'll be on the ledge trying to look down, and I'll catch myself trying to go like this.
or when you're
look into your screen,
or when you're up there and you see a sniper glint, and you're like, Jesus,
that's what I mean.
Yeah,
thinking like your screen
got me.
Yeah, so it's just maybe natural reaction or like just
instinct.
Yeah, I don't know. I just remember when she said that, I'm literally sitting there just staring at her like.
But also, it's a little bit random. You weren't expecting it. I can understand.
No, because we're just literally sitting there eating Subway. Like we all, I like Subway. I like eating Subway and just sitting there just randomly out of the blue. That's what she brings up. I'm just staring at her like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with that? I wish I had the other half.
Just pouting too.
Yeah, just upset.
See, I probably would have that preference too if I would only get a 6-inch, but I get the whole loaf, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to eat
both
sides at one. Although the psychotic thing would be, I want a 12-inch, but I want that half. Cut that one in half, and I want the same half of that one. Oof. And then you put those two fucking pieces together and give that piece of shit to somebody else. That would get a fucking worker to fucking stare at you.
And then the thing was that like it made me start looking at the way.
Have her do that. Oh yeah, have her get a foot long the next time she goes in and request the same half of two different loaves and see if they'll do it or not. That'd be great.
And then it had me sitting there like.
All of a sudden, Shawn forgot how to eat his sandwich.
Like, what?
He's over there.
Pretty soon, he's just trying to shove the whole thing in his mouth.
Just balling it all up.
I forgot what's going on.
You gotta do a South Park. You gotta do a South Park and eat sandwiches backwards.
In your ass.
Yeah. Shit out your mouth.
You guys have been together 11 years?
12.
12? And you just learned that? No, I'm just saying, that's crazy.
Have you ever asked your wife how she wants to eat her Subway sandwich?
No.
Has any of your wives ever been, or girlfriends, ever been just randomly sitting in
mine's a psycho, so yeah, she does weird stuff all the time. It's almost a pain to go out in public with her. But it's like she'll order something and then like change half of it. And just like, why can you just get what it says on the menu? And just like, oh, well, can I get this? But instead of this, that, and that, can I get this, that, and the other thing? I'm just like, that's a complete different dish now. Like, what do you...
That's on the other side. That's on the other side of the menu.
If you just flip it over, that's what that is right there.
Well, the waitress will come up and start taking an order or whatever, and she'll start talking, and I'll just turn and look at her, and she'll just kind of like, because she knows what she's doing.
Yeah, but would you have any idea how she would prefer to eat her Subway sandwich? Is that something that you would ever have like?
She gets 6-inch too, but I've never heard her say such a thing, but she'll probably, and now after listening to this, she'll probably have some sort of weird complex with it.
But so like,
or she'll just start getting flatbed all the time because it'll
bugger
blow her brain. But
yeah, because how long have you guys been together?
2008, so that's 15-ish years.
Yeah. So, do you know that about yours?
No.
It's just not a common thing. That's why my mind was just like in Paul when she mentioned it.
I wish I had the other half.
Yeah, that's all she said. She's literally like looking at her and eating it, and she goes, "I wish I had the other half."
But
like, I'm not full.
But when you eat a cheeseburger,
or she had mentioned that. Do you eat it upside down?
No. When you eat a cheeseburger or like a sandwich or something, do you look for your next bite?
Yep.
No, I eat the outside. I eat the
outside in.
I eat sandwich, hamburger, whatever, any sort of sandwich. I normally eat the outside first and leave the good bites in the center for last.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I'm
always like looking
a hamburger.
I always look
when you open your hamburger for like McDonald's or something. I look for where there's a big piece of cheese first.
I look for wherever,
and I eat that part first.
And then you go from there.
Yeah.
Then you start looking at it.
Yeah, but you start looking. But
no, I eat the ring off of it and leave like all the more meat and condiments and stuff like that in the center.
I don't do that.
There'll be like where my hand's holding the sandwich or burger or whatever. Like there'll be that little bit of crust. That'll be like the last two shittier bites because then you've had all the good stuff in the middle.
So like you'd like make like a star.
Yep. Then you'll get like probably 3-ish bites out of the center that are, I take them in smaller bites to make them more. So you get more of the better stuff. But like eating a BLT or something like that, just eat all the more bread, less bacon and lettuce and stuff like that. Like when I make a sandwich, I put an absurd amount of lettuce on it.
I get a hamburger like the stages.
Do you
of
like
the
the crunch?
Yeah. And just like the consistency of the lettuce and stuff like that. Like I put basically a salad on top of like a hamburger or something like that. Or if your burger patty is a 1/2 inch thick, I'll have an inch of lettuce on top of it.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yep.
But yeah, when she started saying something about, I mean, it makes sense because she said something about the whole like burger.
Or I do notice
like,
that.
would you like or even a like say your sandwich, you pick up a sandwich on the table, both sides of the bread are the same, but you have cheese, lettuce, tomatoes, whatever on top of like your meat. You wouldn't flip the fucking thing over and eat the lettuce on the bottom.
Well, no, if it's like if it's the lettuce and like if it's like a deluxe, no, you wouldn't do that.
Exactly.
But if it's not a deluxe, it's just a double quarter pounder. I could eat with the sesame seed bun
but
upside down, or a Big Mac. A Big Mac, I could eat a Big Mac upside down.
But
that's not gonna bother me.
It makes sense because her sub has all the lettuce and tomatoes and stuff on the top. I mean, I get why she sees that it's, but it wouldn't. It never crossed my mind because
does she have the top of the?
No, she eats it from the
yes,
butt.
I know, but what I'm saying is the top of the sandwich facing away.
Oh wait! I totally missed that. She eats it from the butt.
Yeah, she won't.
She doesn't eat it from the cut side.
No, because
she won't flip it over.
She won't flip it over. So like her bottom teeth or like her upper teeth isn't biting into like the meat and stuff before the toppings. So like
she'll have to cut half into the.
Oh, that's weird.
Oh, okay, that's okay.
That's really weird.
That's
now
completely different.
Does that make sense to you now? So like you have your lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and
that's my
your
first,
cheese
that's my
and
first
meat,
taste.
right?
Yeah.
To be honest, that's like my first taste.
Because this is actually FaceTime. My little brother is going to show me pictures of his.
Because the top
FaceTime
because like the top of the sandwich, which has all of the.
Well, answer it.
Hello.
Oh, you're in a podcast.
Congratulations!
You are now in a podcast.
Congratulations, buddy.
Congrats.
This is everybody. Hey, Sam's not looking. Fuck him. Yo.
Look at that gringo.
Granger Smith.
He's got that green beard already. But you all have a beard.
It's the fat baby face coming out in the fucking assholes. Dick, no, you'll watch the podcast, you'd understand. It's coming from the guy that said he listened or watched every stream that I've ever put up.
All right, well, we'll FaceTime Kylie.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Okay, back to this whole sandwich thing now.
He can't wait to get back to food.
No, but does it make sense to you?
Well, it doesn't, because I don't care. Like with a Subway sandwich, that doesn't matter to me, because the top of the bread, like Italian urban cheese, that top part is facing me. So I'm getting the lettuce and the tomato and all that stuff first.
I was going to say, now that we're bringing this up, I have 2 other points to make about eating a Subway sandwich.
But that's literally why she does it. She feels like her upper
should hit the vegetables first. So she's eating it this way, but it doesn't feel right to her. But it's so her upper teeth can go into the vegetables and stuff first. But she likes eating it from this side instead. So she's eating it from the butt.
I eat it from cut end.
To the cut end. Because she wants to eat it up this side. So I literally grabbed it and just flipped it. So she was eating it from the cut end. And she goes, "It's not right. No, it's backwards." I said, I want to be like, you're eating it from the fucking butt end. It's already backwards.
I feel like that
would have to get to be such a mess, like the last couple bites.
I feel like
now if you talk like say like that, you might as well eat a pizza upside down so you get the toppings first.
You're thinking of the first in a complete different direction that we are.
I've actually heard people make that argument before, that the toppings on a pizza should actually hit your tongue, because that's how you're going to get the flavor, rather than the crust first.
Because you're just tasting crust right away.
Mm-hmm. That's how they eat pizza somewhere. That's the proper way to do it. But I don't know if they necessarily eat it as like a slice, but cut it and put it on a fork and then eat it off of a fork backwards. So the toppings actually hit your tongue first to hit your taste buds and all that stuff to actually get the flavor of a pizza, rather than just eating crust first.
I'm going to try that. But I don't eat like sandwiches, regular bread and stuff, where the bow part is on the top of the loaf. I eat that first. Like it has to be.
I do that too. Yeah.
I can't eat it the other way.
It all depends.
The other way seems weird.
So if I cut it diagonal, I'm eating at a point.
I don't cut it like that. That's how mommies cut it.
I cut it at an angle and then I start from a point.
No, I still start from the other end.
I'm a grown up now. I don't cut my sandwiches in half.
I do.
Just all excited. I do.
No,
he does a lot of things still.
I eat the more cooked crust on the top. I eat that first on a sandwich and then kind of work my way down. But even like a Subway sandwich, when you hold it up, cut end up, I feel like the toppings always end up heavy on one side of the sandwich anyways. Like you don't have the sandwich opened up and have the veggies and all stuff put on and then close it and feel like it's spread evenly across the sandwich. It always ends up on one end.
Yeah.
So always have it turned up, and then we'll actually offset bites where you take a little bite of veggies off the top and then meat and shit off the bottom. Like I take half bites and just work back and forth.
Oh, Jesus, that's actually more in depth to it than a guy would.
No. Like it's something I subliminally in my head that I go through and just like don't say it out loud because, well, I'm not a psychopath.
Crazy. That's why.
But even that, just to mix it, like even when we eat any meal like off of a plate, I always mix little bits of everything off of my plate rather than eating just like, oh, all of my corn or peas or whatever. And then like, oh, I eat all of my potatoes and then, oh, just move to my steak or whatever. Like I'll just take a little bit of everything every bite and mix it like that.
Well, I do that.
So you could blend it.
Yeah. It's very rarely that I would ever eat anything just beginning to end and then move to something else and then something else and then something else.
Unless you order a $130 steak and you don't order sides with it.
I was going to say, unless it's something like that where I know like we've gotten really good steaks and stuff. Like I'll eat everything else and then just leave all the steak to the end. Like that way. But even like all the sides and stuff, I'll still mix them together, eating them and just kind of get a blended whatever.
I feel like everybody's got a slight case of OCD.
When it comes to eating?
Well, when we were out of town working, you could like he puts every topping possible on a hot dog.
See, I didn't notice that.
He put everything on you.
Me?
Yeah, you try to fit as much toppings as you possibly can on the hot dog.
Oh, that's the other thing about like a Subway sandwich too. You always have to leave the butt into your hand because then you get down to like the last bite. You can pick up all the trash condiments off the paper.
Yeah.
And eat that with the bread. And then you're just not eating a hunk of bread at the end.
Right.
No.
So your wife is half a psychopath.
Yeah, because she doesn't do that. She'll eat the butt first just so she can eat it.
I mean, who wouldn't want to do that in the perfect world? But they don't always go. They don't always go for it. Anyways,
talking about
hot dog talk. Where are we at?
I've ate a lot of fucking cheeseburgers with you, and I never noticed that that's how you fucking ate them.
Me neither.
I guess I don't fucking stare at you, but now I'm gonna stare at everybody every time that we fucking go out to eat,
and just see the weird quirks.
Yeah, and be like, why are you doing that?
I don't want like two pieces of bread, like summer sausage sandwich. I won't do that. I'll just eat like I'm typing on a typewriter, just across, all the way across, and then you move down a bite, and then across, and then you go back and you down a bite, and then over. But yeah, like burgers and stuff, I'll definitely eat the edge off first and save 3-4 bites in the middle, and then have that one last shitty bite of basically just bun
and a little slice of cheese and mustard that's
lettuce
left over.
Yeah, but like brats and hot dogs and stuff, normally you got so much sauerkraut on them that you don't have room for anything else.
That's you.
Gross.
That's how they're good.
I do like sauerkraut on you old wieners.
Hot dogs, brats, pizza. Go down about anything.
I'm not big on the hamburger thing.
Yeah, hamburgers are really good. Hamburgers.
I tried it when we were working out of town, and I wasn't a big fan of it. It was good.
You're just not doing it right.
Try flipping that pizza over to get it all on your tongue. Just fall in your fucking lap.
That's another thing. Like, how do you
separate it? Just eat it with a fork.
I'm not sure where or what I heard it on, but
it's just cheese pizza that they do that with, basically.
Yeah, I don't know how you
wouldn't do it with like heaping toppings.
There was a theory behind it, but yeah, it was like pizza's technically made to be eaten upside down. But yeah, you would have to have the cheese basically holding everything. Yeah, like you're not doing it with taco pizza or fucking nothing like that.
But not doing it with the meat lovers.
So does pineapple belong on pizza?
No.
That is the question that everybody.
Pineapple deserves to be in hell where it belongs.
I don't prefer it to be on
good
pizza,
on anything,
but it's not good on
anything.
But
I
it's
love
not
pineapple.
gonna I'm not gonna like shy away from it. It's still gonna eat it.
I like pineapple on pizza.
We had a buddy that he would after going to the bars, he always want the pizza to himself. So he'd order a Canadian bacon
with bacon
and pineapple on it, thinking that we're not going to eat his pizza.
Drunk coming over the bar. Yeah, that's going to keep him away from it.
He put green olives on it one time, and we fucking mowed that thing down.
It doesn't matter what you put on that thing, we're going to eat it.
Then next morning, not even remember it.
Yeah.
You guys ate all my pizza.
No, and this guy, I got him a sandwich from Hardee's one night. Brought it to him downstairs, and then he comes upstairs with a bag. He's like, "Where's my sandwich?" I'm like, it should be in your bag. Well, it's not there. We go downstairs, and he ended up eating his sandwich and leaving one piece of bun, like the bottom bun. He was so drunk that he just grabbed a sandwich without the bottom bun on it and ate it.
On the toilet.
On the toilet.
He was pooping.
He's like, it only came with one bun.
he was high. And we go downstairs and we see the Hardee's bag just tore open like an animal, just fucking got a hold of it and was trying to get whatever else was in there. It's just all over the floor. And there's one bottom bun.
They have fucking a group of raccoons break in. Goddamn rakins.
Eating pizza upside down can certainly change the experience of tasting it. In the case of pizza, some people actually prefer to eat it crust first, as they believe it allows them to savor the flavors and textures in a different way.
So eating it crust first is upside down?
So and backwards?
The funny thing is the second thing he says is, why don't we eat food upside down like pizza? And this is like the first time I've ever heard of people eating pizza upside down.
Are they talking crust first? Like they're starting at the wide piece of a.
I think it just jumped. It jumped to that. Like I think.
And eating towards the point.
I've done that. When stuffed crust first came out, that I just did it that way.
See, like when
because they did it on the commercial.
When when it first came out, see, I saved them. I saved every piece for last.
I did too, just out of fear. After eating that log of cheese in there, my heart was going to stop, and that was at like age 12. I thought that was a possibility.
Now he doesn't even worry about it.
Just gonna die. Fuck it.
One night, my mom got pissed off at me because I went, like, the pizza showed up. Well, I went straight to the stuffed crust pizza, and I cut all the crust off of every piece and put it on my plate.
She went just eating it like goddamn
mozzarella sticks.
Then. Yeah.
Yeah, mozzarella sticks, I guess.
Oh, I guess they're considering crust first, meaning the crust on top.
Yeah, so eating from like the white. That's
no.
Upside down. Upside down.
They're considering the top part the first part. So like,
the way they said that sounded a little confusing.
Is this mozzarella?
Like you could do it with a lot of
so weird.
You could do it with a lot of frozen pizzas.
Yeah, have you never seen like raw mozzarella? Like it's really like squishy
and wet.
Yeah.
Like you grab that, like it'd be like have the consistency of like a water balloon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's really weird.
It looks like dough, like bread dough. Yeah. Oh, I love bread dough.
Are you gonna come?
Oh, I'm so hard right now. You fucking weirdo.
Oh, look at that psychopath.
Yeah.
Fork upside. Oh yeah. Do you guys eat with your fork like this, or do you eat like this?
Like those. I switch between, like when I'm like
use that
scraping
cigar.
it.
Act like you're using it as a fork.
Yeah, that's the way I do it.
You do it like that. We're all cultured.
I've seen people do it
Yeah, I'll do it sometimes.
like that.
Like when I'm mowing.
Like depending what I'm eating. If I'm trying to be more aggressive.
Yeah, if I'm mowing down or something.
Macaroni and
He's
cheese.
getting to the end of the plate. So he's just
Macaroni and cheese out of a bowl. Do it this way. And you just keep it going.
That's because he shovels it in.
Because he's acting like a fucking vacuum.
Do you eat? So I mix baked beans with my macaroni and cheese. Have you ever done that? Oh,
yeah.
And I put
ketchup. Yeah.
Oh,
I brown hamburger and put it in the baked beans, and then mix my macaroni and cheese into that.
Nah, I don't mind the ham.
That's like macaroni chili, kinda. Yeah.
Poor man's chili.
Like I won't even.
Britain puts fucking barbecue sauce on her macaroni.
I won't do stuff like that, like ketchup on macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, like where?
I don't
like
that.
exactly.
I like just
plain. Where was somebody going with that?
What?
I'm pretty sure
ketchup on macaroni.
The Weiss family does that, where they just like boil noodles and just put ketchup on them and just eat them.
Yuck.
Yeah.
I guess
I know a family
that
does it.
I might have that slightly wrong, but I'm pretty sure her and her brother had a conversation about this at Christmas this year. Of that's what their grandma would
Were
make
they
them for like a
homemade noodles though?
I don't see how that matters in the slightest. Boiled noodles, and then you just throw fucking ketchup on it, and just like, oh, what a wonderful snack. We're poor. Bet they had 1-ply toilet paper too.
Shopping at Walmart.
Yeah.
It's not 1-ply toilet paper, asshole.
Goddamn pores. I'll be in trouble for that.
You put ketchup on eggs too?
Hot sauce.
Well, that's different, but like I know a lot of people that put ketchup on eggs, and I think that is horrible.
I did when I was fucking this big, but
I only did it to the school's breakfast eggs.
I guess you almost had to. Powdered eggs.
Yeah.
I guess you almost had to.
Yeah. Because they didn't have hot sauce.
No.
Oh man, giant pan of scrambled eggs. Who cracked all those eggs? Yeah, it just didn't come from a giant box in the back. Put a gallon of water in there and put it in the mixer for a while. Those idiots won't know the difference.
Looks like it. Looks like eggs.
I know a guy.
It's mostly asbestos. They'll be fine.
I know a guy that eats
insulation.
I know a guy that eats steak with ketchup.
Yeah.
My wife constantly says that, like, oh, I'll get some A1. Like, you can, but it's the last time I'm fucking cooking.
No, A1.
Anything. Like, if you cook a steak halfway decent, you don't need to put anything.
No, exactly. You don't. But I also don't mind the flavor of A1.
Honest, ketchup.
Want to grab me one?
He said ketchup on a steak.
Yeah.
He probably has it well done too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at that point,
okay. At that point, yeah, I guess
it's not even really a steak at that point. If you wouldn't put some sort of condiment down there for some sort of like
juice,
juice or something, the fucker would probably still be trying to eat it. Like,
I guess.
There's a meme about that. What do you say to somebody that likes their steak well done? Nothing. Motherfuckers are still trying to chew it.
It tastes like shit.
Yeah, it's
probably
awful.
Basically at the point of eating meatloaf now.
Yeah. Bad meatloaf.
No, I was going to say, even if you make it sounds stupid, but like on their Traeger, always make like a Mandarin like meatloaf or whatever. And like, that's good. And if you don't fuck it up too bad, like you put eggs and stuff in it. So like, there's no reason it has to be dry.
Well, that's binder.
Yeah, but I mean, just like that with like the breadcrumbs and all that kind of stuff, like there's enough in it where it's, because I've had
I put
dry ass meatloaf before, but like this isn't.
I put a ketchup glaze on mine. So I make
same thing, like the
ketchup and brown sugar. You warm that up in a pan and you use as a glaze, and then you put it back in the oven.
Yeah, we just use like the thick Mandarin sauce or whatever. And just use that like in the actual mix, and then the last 45 minutes on the smoker or whatever, use it as start putting it on.
That'd be a good idea. I should try that on the smoker.
Really good.
You haven't really used it.
I used it once.
Yeah.
Just for chicken drummies.
Yeah. Speaking of that, having A1 sauce or like 57 on steak, I agree with Griffin. If it's a decent steak. If you catch me putting A1 on my steak and I'm at your house, just take that as the worst insult in the world.
I was going to say, because if we go somewhere, like if we go to Texas Roadhouse or Longhorns or something like that, like if she wants, she can do whatever she wants. But yeah, if it's at home on something that I made, it's just like, okay, well, I'm just not cooking anymore. Like
I believe if you need any of that on a steak or anything, you've done fucked the steak up to begin with. And that might have been mine. And Kylie just loves 57 sauce on everything.
Just like her sister likes.
I like dipping fries in 57 sauce.
Just like her sister likes fucking steaks. Well done. Like
Oof.
consistency of fucking jerky. Like
I've
watched her eat a steak once, and I'm like.
Like, I've fucked up some steaks before, but I haven't fucked them up to the point of well done. Like, I've cooked them a little, like,
too long?
To the medium side.
I have by accident just because
the medium
you
medium well.
Cook it, and then you flip it over, and then I get busy doing something, and the
forget it
fat flares up or something. It starts a blast furnace underneath it. Like, it just flash fries it. I've cooked them fast that way. Or just generally overcooked from... Cook it and just slice it a little bit and just ask the wife, like,
is this good?
That just a minute longer. And then 3 minutes later, like
it's too much.
It's hardly pink. Just like, oh, well, fucking right there where mine's basically purple in the middle. Like put hers on the grill. When I go to flip hers, I put mine on and then halfway before I'm going to flip, like would be essentially like flip or pull hers off. I'll flip mine. So yeah, mine's like, purplish in the center and try not to get hers.
But I've always had a little bit of pink in mine. I never like gone to, like
I've forgotten them. I've forgotten them where they're like not technically well done, but like
Dylan tried taking a shower when he put
medium well or whatever. And
it's supposed to be a quick one.
And fucking but I've also made the mistake when I first got my it's not Traeger, smoker or whatever. Try and like slow cook them, and it always dries them out. It seems like
steaks are I won't make a steak on my Traeger. I hear people doing it just like, oh, it turns out, and just like, no, you need heat and you need fast to cook steaks.
So
I just flash fry the outside to burn it and still have the middle cold or cool. Whatever. Where I've tried it on the Traeger before. Like pork chops are okay. Where like pork chops on the grill are kind of. I always have a tendency of trying to cook them too hard, too fast, and they end up just a ball of flames on there.
Yeah. See, and that's like I said. I end up taking too long. The steaks either took too long and they just dry them out. So now when I cook steaks on it, I just turn it all the way up. Bam. Bam.
I wish we had like a heated garage because I would cook on it more. But like during the summertime and stuff, Blackstone, just like the flat top.
Yep.
Really like steaks and pork chops and stuff on there because you get more of a burn across the entire surface rather than just like where like the racks and stuff
and
are.
You can put a weight plate on it too. So
I don't do that, but like even like cooking on the grill, I start a fire. Like if I start one underneath her steak, I'll move her steak and just throw my steak on top of it, just to kind of like burn it. And just like, ooh, that'll be good.
Yeah.
But even that, I'm starting to get old too, where making the conscious choice to not eat all of like the fat off my pork chop, my steak and stuff anymore. Just kind of like
that's one thing I've noticed that you've been doing.
Like
I've seen them been doing that.
It's so good. I want to eat it, but at the same time, I just almost hear months clicking off of my fucking calendar by not doing that.
Should have never made that doctor's appointment.
Yeah, and Kylie hates the fat too.
Now he's got that in the back of his head.
Yeah.
The old
I'm
lady,
dying.
Yeah, the old lady hates the fat, and it is like.
I love it.
She cringes at me when I eat.
That's where the flavor goes.
That's what I told her. I said, that's where the flavor's at. And she goes, because we'll buy steaks or whatever. And
I'll cut that fat off.
Well, she'll be like, this one doesn't have much fat on it. I'm like, that's not going to be a good steak. I mean, it's not. You got to have the fat on there. That's where your flavor comes from, is the fat.
Sometimes you get where it's got good fat on it, but it has that silver skin on it and stuff too. Where
that's bad fat. Yeah.
That'll kind of take a guy out of it. And it's not that I don't eat any of the fat off of it. It's just like
it gets chewy.
A couple of years ago, like my plate would just be absolutely clean. And now it's just kind of like, oh, we'll just leave the rest of that. Cause it does like you get a chunk of steak and then a little sliver of fat with it. Like, yeah, that's where the flavor is. That's what actually makes it good. Same thing with pork chops or pork steaks or anything like that too. Like
See, I'm not a big fan of the fat on a pork chop though, unless it's like almost burnt.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'd cook our pork chops just like our steaks, hard, fast, high heat, and just try not to turn them into fucking charcoal, because there is a fine line. When you put them on the grill, it's fine, but as soon as you flip them over and all that fat and juice starts to well up on top of it, as soon as you flip it over, now that's flame side down. That baby will go up like that. Unless you're there to catch it, it'll, we've had to throw away pork chops before because I burned them because I went to mix another drink or fucking stepped away from it. I mean, but that's all it is like a minute. And to be honest with you, I almost like I prefer the fat on a pork chop almost more than like steak fat. I think it has more flavor.
Right. How long do you cook your steaks before you flip them?
As long as they need to be. I don't go by time, just kind of what they look like and kind of like poking them with the tongs and stuff, just kind of feel it.
I honestly did the same thing or whatever until I watched Letterkenny and it said like 4 minutes aside.
See, I don't cook by time.
So like I started cooking it by time. Like I turned the grill up to like 350 or whatever, 400, and put it on 4 minutes, no matter what. Flip it over 4 minutes and pull it off. It's a pretty good.
I don't do that just for the sake of like, our grill up to temperature. I know where the hot and cold spots are on our grill, where something will cook faster here and slower 1 grade over or 6 inches over on the fucking grill. And just so I don't go by that. And even I know it frustrates the wife of making, when I cook anything, just like, how much longer does it have? And I always respond and, it's got 10 degrees left or 15 degrees left. We cook to a temperature, not to a time.
Like a 160
Well, see,
depending what you're cooking, anything like that. I've gotten very loose with my temperature too, because the lower the temperature, the juicier it's going to be and the better it's going to be. Even with like chicken and stuff like that, we're pushing into the lower 150s now.
In chicken?
Yeah.
I will not do that.
So good. And I haven't gotten sick or gotten the shits, and she hasn't said nothing. So
I will not do that with poultry. Like,
it's
at least 160 with poultry and that's it.
A buddy of mine a couple of years ago said he went to a wedding in Canada.
You can go 150 and it'll still cook when you take it off.
Yeah, you got to let it rest.
And he went to a wedding in Canada, and their main course was pork chops. They were rare.
I heard that you can cook pork just too rare now.
I forget what the bacteria in it is or whatever, but just the common practice of they're not feeding pigs back to pigs anymore. Yeah. So you can essentially cook it like beef now, apparently. Where I'm even that like. It's still 150, 155 before we pull it off. But like you let it cook up to like 160 or 165 where it was supposed to be a couple of years ago. Like it's noticeably drier.
Well, yeah.
Like it's just kind of like, keep taking it down incrementally. And then when we start getting food poisoning, we'll bump it up a couple of degrees. but that's the line you're running at.
That's almost the thing with like poultry and pork where there is no... It's a very short distance between nice, juicy, and then fucking dry. It's just dry.
Yeah, especially with chicken.
Yeah.
Where that bothers, like, my wife likes it, but my brother cooks by looks. So if it looks like it's done, then we'll take it off the grill. And that baby's like eating
dry,
like eat chicken breast or something like that. Like, it's eating like styrofoam insulation. Just like... Like, this is good. You're drinking it. You're eating it while pouring water in your mouth to try to,
Yeah, like I said, and that's
hopefully. I would say hopefully he doesn't watch this, but at the same time, I've given him hell so many times.
Maybe it'll get through.
Yeah, but pork and poultry, like there's such a fine line.
Pork you don't need to worry about.
It's like either undercooked. And then you have your very fine line of like cooked and juicy, and then just fucking dry. It seems
fucking like. pork loin on the smoker.
Don't do that.
Real fucking juicy.
Well, if you cook it fast enough.
No, slow.
Really?
That's one of those things.
I've tried that with pork loin, and it dries it out.
Like making pulled pork or anything like that, like cooking pork shoulders. Like that one is very temperature specific. You get it a little too low or you get it a little too high. Like it little too high, it'll dry out. A little too low, it doesn't shred like it should. Like that one's pretty close.
Maybe that's what I was doing wrong there.
Ribs on the grill is the only thing that I go by time. It's like I guess so many hours. It's just like, oh, well, was it like 5 hours or whatever?
3, 2, 1.
Yeah,
3,
like
2, 1.
like the 3, 2, 1. But I don't wrap mine anymore or anything
6
like
hours.
that. Like it's the bark or whatever it puts on them is almost better. And just like, oh, well, every 45 minutes or an hour, you spritz them with some apple cider vinegar or something like that. And like it varies pending time or kind of how they'd look, but like, yeah, the last half hour or whatever, start slathering them with barbecue sauce. But yeah, that's time only. Everything else is all by temperature, and it's so much better.
Yeah, I do the 3-2-1,
which is
3 hours smoke, 2 hours wrapped, and then basted the last.
Try not wrapping them. I almost prefer it better. I didn't really notice.
So then how, or what do you just do it 4 hours then?
Just put them on and just continue to spritz them every hour.
Yes.
Don't put them in tin foil or paper or nothing like that. Just leave them on the grill. I honestly didn't notice much of a like
difference
moisture change in like the meat, but like if you like the bark on them is better. Like, yeah, a buddy of mine from told me to do that and tried it and loved it, and I haven't wrapped one since then. I thought he was a psycho when he first said it. Just like, oh, well, if you just leave them out that long, they're just gonna end up
dry
like a shoe. But I much more prefer them. The wife says she does. I don't know if she does or not, but
I like Dr. Pepper ribs, so I like wrapping them.
Oh, and see, we normally just threw apple cider vinegar and some honey and butter and stuff in there in aluminum foil upside down. And
because I'll put them in aluminum foil, throw a can of Dr. Pepper in them, wrap them, seal them up, and then cook them the rest of the way. And then take them out and then put your barbecue sauce on them and then cook them so it gets a crust on them, basically.
Yeah, I just put, wrap them, butter, onions, green peppers, some apple slices, and wrap them up.
We've done that a couple times the last 2 months here. Yeah, like a smaller ham, and actually vacuum seal it in a bag with like a can of Pepsi or whatever, and put it into one of the water cookers.
Oh, sous vide
at like 140 degrees, and just let it go like for 8 or 10 hours, and then pull it out, put it on a rack in the oven, and just kind of start rubbing stuff on it like every 15 minutes for like an hour-ish to kind of put a glaze on it. And yeah, it's the first one I fucked up. I tried doing on the Traeger, and I left it on the Traeger too long, and it started to dry it out. But the second one just severely cut down the amount of time it was on there. And I kept a lot more of the moisture and stuff in it.
To me, that's the best way to cook a prime rib, sous vide.
Is it?
You put it in that water at 133 degrees for 24 hours.
We do that. It's just like with prime rib, just like one of those things that just like, oh, I want more of a crust on it.
Well, yeah.
So you just try doing it like on a Traeger or something, just to kind of, or I tried it once and it turned out okay, but you coat it in butter. You get like a 5-pound prime rib and get like 5 pounds of butter and just like pack it on the outside of it.
Well, then
I've seen like completely encase it, and then you put like the drip tray underneath it. So as everything comes off of it, it goes down, and then you make your
you want a good crust on it, like with the butter,
jus or whatever,
jus sauce
off of all the drippings and everything off of it. And it turned out okay, but it's one of those things that just like never get the fine details of cooking something like that nailed down, because it's like once every 2 or 3 years I tried doing something like that, and I always forget like, oh, piss, I did that wrong last time, and just always make the same mistakes over and over because it's not something we have often enough.
That fucking putting the steaks on the smoker.
How long was that not?
What was I doing? Reverse searing them?
On the smoker?
I put them on the smoker,
you're using the cast iron? Yeah, that's reverse sear.
Yeah, I put the cast iron in the regular grill and just turn all the burners on and just get it blazing hot. Smoke it at like 200, 225. Get it to a temperature of 125 after it's been smoking, and then just throw it on the pan and sear both sides.
Yeah, that's reverse sear.
That's the thing. by cooking with temperature, you always try to lead into, like you said, put in that water cooker for 10 hours or 12 hours or 24 hours or whatever. Like, oh, well, I want to make it just slightly less than the finished temperature because I'm anticipating throwing it in the caster and it's going to warm it up, because I hate to do that too. Just like, oh, well, I want my steak at 135 degrees. So I cook it to 130, you throw it in the cast iron and you pull it off and you probe it again. It's like, oh, it's 145 now. Just like, oh, great. I've skipped 2 pink stages in cooking my steak. And I'm so paranoid about doing that. I almost go too far the other direction and undershoot it and just kind of like, oh, well, now I'm just turning the outside into charcoal by trying to get the middle to kind of where I want. And
you need to get one of those broilers, where it's just a heating element
for like cooking steaks and stuff. You know how expensive those are?
Yeah.
I've looked into them. I've also looked into the little dry aging fridge too. Those things are not cheap. A couple grand for a fucking wine fridge you hang meat in for fucking 90 days.
Just set
and
it
then
up.
you end up cutting half of it off.
But that sear is only like this big.
Just set it on your nightstand.
But they're expensive.
Yeah, it's like a fucking pizza oven. You just get one of those and stick it in there.
Just set the meat on your nightstand like Thor did. It's full of flies. It's almost ready.
You look at some of that dry age stuff though, like they'll let it go for like months and then take it out and just cut a half inch or 3/4 of an inch off of like every surface of it. And like, I would love to try some of that stuff, because same thing, like when we went to Minneapolis and had those steaks and just like, oh, spending $130 on a steak there. Absolutely. Because I trust it's actually what they say it is, where a lot of these other places you go and just like, oh, our 90-day dry aged steak or whatever, and just like
they took it out of the freezer.
No, that steak was walking around last week. Like, you can sell whatever it is and just like, oh, this is a terrible steak, and just like, oh, well, our apologies, like, and then you're just stuck with a $70, $75 steak, $50 steak, whatever, we're getting that one. And I'm glad I did, or we did. You talked me into it or whatever, because that was legit the best steak I've ever had.
That's a story in itself.
It might have made you sick, but I thought it was phenomenal.
I don't know if it got me sick. I don't know what it was. All I know is
whatever, but
it
was very rich and it had such a good flavor to it. But same thing, like had that weird little line of like silver skin or whatever, and where I didn't eat that little sliver of it. And he offered to put it in a box for me to take home. That was probably a $30 steak that I threw away, but it was still good. But like even I know there's one of the casinos in Deadwood serves like the Snake River Farms like steaks or whatever, and that's one that always crosses like my Facebook and my face, or the like YouTube reels and stuff, the little commercials you get. That's one of like the handful of different steak things that come across there. Like, I would love to try one. The same thing, they do like the dry age stuff, but it's just so gun shy of. I've tried ordering steaks and stuff like off the internet and just like, oh, there are whatever, and you pay a fair amount for them and you get them and try them and just like,
it's like I could have went to a grocery store and had this.
Yeah, literally.
Might as well
like
just go to the parking lot in the mall when they give the $20 ribeyes.
$20 for 30 ribeyes. Yeah. Just like, that's probably not going to be good. Like, that ratio is the wrong direction. Yeah, it's the wrong direction. Like, but I was going to say, like, going to a grocery store and getting a steak. Like, I've had better steaks just randomly out of there, let alone going to like the little butcher shops around like the area or whatever. Like, that one in Hope, I love going there. Just never get to that side of the state. The one where we're at, the butcher shop there open, and just like we've gotten a handful of steaks different times from there, all been really good. And just like, I've got no problem paying more, but it just need to know that they're going to consistently be that way, good.
Yeah. Right.
Like going to Hope and just like, oh, we'll spend a decent chunk of money and just buy a whole bunch of them, because it might be 6 months or a year before we get back again.
And they're pretty spendy.
And it's just like, but I've got no problem, because I don't like, we had one the last time that tasted a little gamey, just kind of like, okay, whatever, 1 out of a dozen isn't terrible. We're willing to play with those odds. But yeah, some of those, like you hate to spend a couple $100 and then just like, oh, well, we got a different supplier for our steaks. And now they're just not, they're mediocre.
Right.
Just like, well, even mediocre isn't enough to justify paying an extra couple bucks a pound for them, you know? Like it's.
Why didn't you come to dinner?
Because I barely even wanted to get out of the house to come here. It's so cold outside.
You said bed weird.
You did look pissed when you got here.
It was cold.
The fact that you were asleep and we watched you just drive by the house numerous times.
It's not even that cold. I mean,
it's negative 18 and without the windshield.
Windshield?
Windshield? Whose windshield?
Yeah.
I'm gonna need
you should always have a windshield.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course it's cold if you drove here without a windshield.
Aviator goggles on and your little leather hat.
Windshield.
White cheeks.
Defroster doesn't work. He has to pull the Ace Ventura and just has his head outside the window.
Nobody wants to play with me.
It was negative 18.
In town's not bad. Getting down 52. Boy, that really gets chilly on the face.
It was negative 18 without the wind chill.
Do you want to go ice fishing?
It's supposed to be colder tomorrow, ain't it?
Yeah.
What is it?
If you want to get out there and hurry up and put that tent up.
Yeah. Saturday.
See, now,
supposed to be super cold Sunday.
now
Because
I thought the
I
website
got good gear.
Saturday was supposed to be worst.
you what?
I got my gear.
Saturday starts to get cold. Sunday is supposed to be the
Starts to get cold tomorrow? I thought it was cold today.
It started to get
It got cold yesterday.
My dick disappeared yesterday already.
It's been fucking cold.
Mine disappeared in July.
I have to sit down and pee today. I didn't know where it was. I didn't know what fold it was going to come out of.
You guys got dicks?
Not anymore.
Not until spring.
Thanks for palling around.